welcome back to Maria Harges. Now, today I want to go ahead and do a vlog of my painting called Chaotic, Evil, and Light. It is a very cool painting. Half of it is like really dark, and the other half is light. And in this painting, it's a representative of the chaotic's good and then the chaotic evil. I did this back in high school. It was a time in my life where I had a lot of change and adjustment, and um it was, especially for my talent, it was a very interesting time because I was coming into I was coming into my talent as a painter, as an artist. It was the first time that I actually had to work with paints, and I found that I was really good. My teachers and everybody around me were really impressed with the talent that I had, and I even got recommended to to a special art school in New Orleans. And that's actually where I grew up. I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's where I'm from. However, that was a time where my parents didn't support my art at all. They didn't. The application sat on their dresser for months. They never touched it and they lost it. And I asked them, I was like, hey, what happened to that? I mean, I have an opportunity to get a scholarship to go to this school, and this is a really cool opportunity for me. They said that I'm really talented and gifted at this, and that I have really talented art. They're like, oh, I don't know what happened to it. You'll have to ask her. And you have to ask you have to ask your stepmom. Oh, no, you're going to have to ask your dad. And pretty much they kind of just dismissed it because they were actually getting ready to pull me out of my last 2 years of high school because they were fearful for me because of Columbine. At first, originally, they were planning to leave me and my other sister into school and let us finish our high school years and homeschool the rest of my sisters and brothers because I'm the oldest of six. But because of Columbine happened, they got freaked out and decided that they wanted to homeschool me. Except I wasn't happy with it. I was I was interested in science, and I was excited for my junior year because I was going to be placed into a chemistry class. And I was really excited because I wanted to learn chemistry and physics. I wanted to get deeper into science because I was really good at math. And I knew that if I was really good at math, then I can get to the higher level maths and I can do that in science. And that's what I was like really curious and I was really interested in. However, my parents my parents wanted to homeschool me, and my stepmom was the only subject she was good at was English. So she wasn't good at math, and so she was like she gave me these so-called workbooks for homeschool. And I was like, okay, I'll do them and all, but it would be better if I had a teacher. That's the reason why I don't like the idea of homeschool because I would like to have a teacher to teach me how to do this and all. And so they gave me a workbook, the first workbook, and it was all in units. I failed miserably at it because I had no idea how to convert units from English to metric system and vice versa. And my stepmom was like, great, and she's like, oh, you fail it. You're going to have to do it again. Except she never went over my mistakes. She never taught me what did I went wrong. And because she couldn't teach me because she had no knowledge in it. And so she said, well, you can't learn any more of the subjects until you move past this. You have to get better at this first. And I was like, but how can I get better if I have no idea how to do it? And she wouldn't teach me and I couldn't get help. So I was like, okay, fine. Then I'm just going to go to work. So they were like, fine, go to work. So I got a job at Baskin Robbins and I was making ice cream cakes because I was working during the day with the owners. So I had an opportunity to go ahead and learn how to make ice cream cakes. And I started making decent money because I got all the way up to shift manager. I got promoted all the way to shift manager and I was making decent money and I was saving up supplies and I was going to save up to go to get my GED. Since my parents didn't want to teach me, I thought, okay, maybe I just get my GED and I'll get done with this. But no, they didn't do that. In fact, my stepmom got word that I was making decent money, so she talked to my dad and then my dad made a big issue. He decided to take all my art supplies, my brushes, my paints, my artwork, some snacks that I had in there, a CD maybe I bought or something, and he put it all in a basket. And then he decided to take it to the living room and mock me in front of everybody in my family, and and try to turn this around into a teaching experience about money. And I was like, what? I'm just saving up. I spend money. He's like, well, you're spending a lot of money and everything and all. I was like, art supplies cost money, and I need to get better at my skills. I'm like, I'm working on a skill because I have talent in it. Since I can't go to school and learn it, since you took that opportunity away from me, I'm learning on my own. That's what I'm doing. And then he didn't understand that. Eventually, it turned down to I had to pay $100 for rent. It was up there with the same thing that where at 13 I had to do my own laundry, except when everybody else in my family turned 13, they never had to do their laundry. It was only me washing my own laundry while everybody else in my family had my stepmom washing their laundry and all. So I've had a very different raising up from the rest of my family, even though I'm the oldest of six. Um, and you would think that like when my brothers and sister got older, they would start to have some of that responsibility. No, I was the only one. And I noticed about how unfair this was, and I noticed how this is the treatment I had. So I was trying to do everything I possibly could to get away from the way that my parents were doing stuff and all, because literally I was in a control bubble, and it was suffocating me. It really was. So I also had to go to church, and I had to do the church stuff. So I eventually end up figure out a way, and I started doing the tech stuff. I started hanging out with the tech people, doing the PowerPoint presentations for the service. I end up learning how to do the lights. I end up learning how to do a spotlight for like the musicals and stuff that they had. End up learning how to do the soundboard and the light board and stuff. So I hanged out with them instead of have to listen to everything that was coming out of that preacher mouth, because honestly I was just not the very religion type, which is funny because when I say this and I get to my painting, you'll see that there's a unicorn. That was an inspiration from Pokemon that I was not allowed to watch because it had evolution. Because my parents was Southern Baptist, and they thought evolution means Darwin's. So they're like they believe in creations. So this was like taboo for me to be watching this and everything, and I had interest in it. But what's ironic about it is eventually I grew up, got my degree in biological engineer, and I kind of like leaned towards the Darwin's kind of way of philosophy on things and all, which my parents still to this day had no control and no way, even though they tried to control me, they tried to control my way of thinking, they still couldn't stop me from thinking that way. And it's kind of funny because it was like that with Yu-Gi-Oh. I couldn't watch Yu-Gi-Oh because it was about Egyptian gods and they thought it was like paganism and stuff. And so a lot of different animes would fall into that category. So as a kid, I couldn't watch it. I loved it and I tried to secretly watch it, but then I would have my sister calling out, Maria is watching something on TV she's not supposed to be watching. And I was like, man, what the? And I'm like going, and you know, in those days I couldn't curse because if I freaking cursed in front of that household, I would get in way more trouble than ever. And it was one of those things where, even as my adulthood, I curse sometimes, but I don't curse a lot because it doesn't always come natural unless I'm angry. If I'm angry, then I curse. But those were things that I had to. And so that painting is really just a reflection of all that. It's the reflection of all the chaos that I had to learn growing up, because it was kind of chaotic trying to figure out my way of thinking, even though my way of thinking was different than everybody else around me, than my sisters and brothers, than my parents, and eventually even my husband, now my ex-husband. All right. Well, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Now, if you did, just make sure you hit a like, subscribe, do all those beautiful things because that'd be great. And for my next video, I'll be doing another vlog, blog. I also got some really awesome news. I order a new camera and it's on its way. I also order some new editing software program because I'm sure you probably have noticed for people who've been following me that my audio is not always good. It is not actually my mic. It is the software program that I'm actually using through the mic and it's causing a lot of ear interference and all. But soon that will actually be fixed. I'm working on better quality videos. I'm also going to be eventually I'm going to be going and doing some children's style storytelling, like for some stories that I have. Stuff with Angie Adventure that I have never published before that I want to go ahead and introduce the world to. So I will be starting to do that with a small part of the story, like in a children's style animated um, video. And I'm really happy and excited about that. I'm actually talking with a few people because I am going to be actually looking for people to do voiceover for that because eventually I would like to do, more videos like that. That's really where my aim and what I would like to actually take this channel in that direction. However, I'm still building the skills for animation work. So I have to first master the first video doing that. So it actually is going to take me some time doing that, but it's not going to be a video that will get released right away. It will be a video that will probably be coming down probably like a few months down the road. Um, but I definitely look really forward to that. I also have other videos like product reviews that I'm going to be bringing and time lapse videos of like speed drawing. So you will actually be able to get to see my drawing with like music in the background, and I will be doing more of that. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification so you can definitely get notification when my videos come out. As an artist, I'm always trying to improve my skills and work on them, and I'm trying to, share how I view the world through my art because that's what my art is. It's a reflection of how I feel and think, and I just want to be able to share that with people who would appreciate what I do. Okay? Until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye.